Hello and thank you for joining me for this fun lesson. Although in Bahrain we don't have any sign of autumn right now, but I can still imagine and explore my creativity on the paper. Don't miss out on this beautiful journey. Join me for the fall painting series and celebrate the colors of the season. All you need to subscribe to the channel so you will be the first one to get the notification when the new video will release. Let me give you a quick tour of my painting setup and then I'm gonna give you the introduction of the material we will be using for this class. I'm gonna use the watercolor brushes, which will be the mop brushes of different sizes. You can use any watercolor paint palette or the tube paints. I'm going with the Winston & Newton. We also need the masking fluid of watercolor. Try to get some fine brushes as well. Watercolor palette. Last but not the least, Archie's watercolor paper 300 GSM. You can also get some water in the bottle, spray bottle, and if you want, you can even use the dropper. After I'm done with taping my borders, I will start with the help of a very old brush and take some masking fluid and apply them in a shape of a leaf in a random direction. You don't need to follow exactly any direction, just go with the flow and the mood. Here you can follow my directions if you want. It's a time lapse, but you will be able to see and you can pause the video anytime you want. Masking fluid will take around 30 to 40 minutes depending on the weather where you are. Let it dry on its own. Do not use any heat or any hair dryer or air dryer kind of a thing. While we will wait, we will start preparing for our paint palette. I will go with all the warm colors such as yellow, red, pink, blue, purple, orange, and brown. I'm just taking out the colors in my palette, and with the help of the dropper, I'm going to add the water in each color. The reason of adding water, so the colors will activate and the pigments will get mixed with the water. This will help me to speed up with my painting and I don't need to use different brushes or clean my brushes all the time. So that's it. Let's start with our first layer of wet on wet. I will use the mop brush, which is a round big brush, and you can use any color of your choice. It can start with a yellow color or you can go with the orange. It's completely up to you. But remember to add the water on the paper first and then you can apply the color. The color needs to be diluted with the water so it will give you a very light tone. I'm trying to add the colors on both the sides, leaving the center area with a very light tone, adding yellow, brown, orange, red, and in the corners to create the shadow, I will go with the dark colors, which will be the reds, purples, and blue. You can always stop the video, pause the video, and continue when you think that you are on the same step. Add some splatters and then let the layer completely get dry. Try to leave the center area of your work with the lightest tone, or if accidentally you have added the color, just take the tissue and remove the extra color. After waiting 30 minutes approximately, this is how my first layer gets dry and this looks very nice and faded the way I like it. I'm just removing some extra water with the help of tissue and it's the time to create the second layer. For second layer, I will go with a medium size brush. Start with the same colors. Start with the brown or red or yellow depending on your choice. Start creating a little bit depth around your masking fluid so it will go in a shape of the leaves the way we did it with the masking fluid, and just apply stroke by stroke to look like a leaf shape. You can follow my directions of the paint brushes and try to apply in your own. Don't give up. If you want, you can practice on a small paper first and then apply on the big paper. But trust me, whatever you will create, that will be your work. You don't need to copy exactly how I am doing it. I'm painting from last 15 years, so definitely it's been everyday practice. And if you're an absolute beginner, I will ask you to at least practice and be patient to get the same results. Regarding my color mixing, I only have these colors which I show you on the palette: purple, red, brown, blue, pink and orange. And these are the only colors which I will be mixing and making it with the new shades of color. You can go with your own color scheme, and you can always remember to add water in your color. We are still diluting the color, and then when we will go on the third and the fourth layer, then we will use more concentrated pigments. The paper is still damp, it's not completely dry, so you can see the moment I'll add the paint on the paper, it quickly dissolved in the previous layer. That's the reason I need to wait and then repeat the same process, and then it will carry on at least 2 to 3 times till I feel that yes, the colors are popping and I am able to see the values of color in a different way. After this layer, we will start with our third layer, but let's wait first. Now here it's a time lapse of the process. I am doing the third layer with more concentrated paint, but it's not completely pigmented. It's a bit medium concentration, you can say. My brush strokes are somewhere short and somewhere long, depending on the space I have. The center part, I'm trying to add just clean water to make it more highlighted, and I can get more glow of the light. So you can just use simple water, add yellow, add browns, add red, and let your center part remains without any brush stroke. So keep adding as much as you can, little by little. Wait for your layer to dry, and then you can keep adding. This process is only takes time because you need to wait. After the third layer dry, I will use my paint palette, because in that I will get more different ochre and other shades which I don't want to use it from the tube. So I can just speed up my process and complete this painting with you. So just mixing with red, orange, ochre, yellow to achieve something more warm hues. You can always go according to your own choice. On the top, I'm trying to keep it lighter value, means more yellows and more orange shades. And when I'm coming to the sides and the corner, because I want to create that shadow and depth, so at the bottom part and the corners, I will go with a darker value. It's time to remove all our masking fluid. You'd make sure that the paper is completely dry, not even damp. It has to be completely dry and crisp. And then with the help of slow movement, slow circling movement, you can just remove your masking fluid with a little massage, very gentle massage on the paper. You can easily peel off the masking fluid, and once it's done, you can clean the paper before you start with your layering of paint. This is my fourth layer, not the final layer, but in this layer I will be adding the color in the area where we don't have any paint, from where we have removed the masking fluid and the area is completely white. So I will start with the yellow color on top of it. So the leaves which is higher, they will be lighter, and the leaves which are getting down, they will get darker with the shades. So just slow, little by little, follow the steps, keep adding where I'm adding the color, or you can go with your own flow. And you can keep adding the darker shades at the bottom part and the lighter value at the top of the area, but do not add anything in the center of the paper. Keep that glow and the light effect. That will give you a very beautiful shine in the end of the painting. By now you may have noticed that the color starts to pop. The layer of different colored leaves coming to life and adding depth and dimension to this painting. To enhance this effect, I'll continue to add darker shades at the corner of the painting. In this way, I can create a sense of shadow to the corners of my painting. Now with the help of a mop brush, I will take a clean water once again and remove all the extra paint and just create the white and the glow in between, so it will look like a golden sunshine is coming. Additionally, I will also incorporate some mini branches with a fine brush here and there to add the extra level of details and depth. These subtle additions create an illusion of branches peeking through the leaves, adding an overall realism of a painting. Remember to be mindful of the placement of the branches, as they should appear sporadically and mimicking the natural growth pattern found in autumn landscape. By following these steps and techniques, you will be able to achieve a visually captivating artwork that portrays the beauty of autumn leaves. Once you got the branches, you can still keep adding the leaves. I will be adding some darker colors, which will be reds and orange, just to cover some of the branches, and it will give me more natural look. And then I will add a bit of splatters and adding some final details to my painting. Just keep adding till you feel that your landscape look fuller and give you a complete look. At last, with all the colors, I will take some acrylic white paint, mix it with water, and add a little bit of whimsical splatters on top of it. I really like white splatters on my paintings, but if you want to skip this part, you can always skip it. This is my final look of the painting, and I hope you enjoy the process. Don't forget to send your feedback, comment below, and if you want my reviews, do share your artwork through email, or you can contact me on my Instagram pages. The link will be in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and hit the bell icon so you will be able to get the notification first when I will post the next class. Take care of yourself and see you in the next class.